it's Tracy Matthews and of flourishthriveacademy.com, and I'm here today with Lisa Fraley, who is an attorney and a holistic health coach. And I'm really excited because today we're going to talk about which corporate entity is right for your jewelry business. And I'm even more excited because Lisa is going to be one of our contributors for Multiply Your Profit. So before we get started, Lisa, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you, Tracy, for having me. I'm very excited to be talking to you all about the law.
Yay! We love the law. So before I start diving into the questions, I'm just going to introduce you really quickly. So Lisa Fraley is a legal coach, attorney, and holistic health coach who has helped over 150 entrepreneurs create simple, easy legal protections for their businesses so they feel safe, secure, and protected. Lisa combines her years of work in a large law firm with her powerful coaching skills to help driven coaches and entrepreneurs take the right legal steps to up-level the credibility of their businesses so they can boldly and confidently do the work that they love without the worry, stress, or fear of being sued, which is really important because none of us want to be sued by anyone, right?
Exactly.
All right, so you ready to get started?
I'm ready.
So I wanted to ask you just like a pretty basic question to get started out. Can you tell me a little bit about what a corporate entity is? Because I don't want to mislead people on what they think that term means.
Sure. And it does sound like it's really amorphous, but really a corporate entity is one of three things. Either it's being a sole proprietor, which is what every jewelry designer is now before they even create anything else, right. A sole proprietor, or a limited liability company, which you often hear people refer to as an LLC.
Right.
Or actually the third one is a corporation, and that's either a big giant corporation, which is a C Corp, or a small closely held corporation, which we call an S-Corp.
Right. Okay, cool. Thanks for clearing that up. So there's only three legal entities then.
I mean, there are more than that, honestly, Tracy, but the three that most entrepreneurs really find themselves dealing with is a sole proprietor, LLC, or usually an S-Corp. Sometimes a C Corp, but usually an S-Corp.
Right, yeah. I remember I've been a sole proprietor and had an S-Corp, and then we have an LLC for Flourish and Thrive Academy.
Great.
So I've done all of them.
That's fantastic, really.
So there are so many different types of corporate entities, as you just mentioned, the three most commonly used ones for a jewelry business. So how can you determine, or how can a jewelry designer determine which entity is going to be right for their business?
Sure. So Tracy, let me just share that the reason why people form an LLC or an S-Corp is actually to do two things. Okay. One is to protect their assets. Okay, so either the assets they have in their personal life or the assets they have in their business by keeping them separate.
Okay.
And the other piece is to protect them from liability, which is so that if they, it protects them from being sued, basically, right. Or at least reduces the ability to be sued. So everyone would want to have one or the other. Yeah, we all like that, exactly. And the other great thing about having an LLC or an S-Corp, for example, is that generally speaking, it can reduce your tax burden. Not always, but generally it reduces your tax burden. So those are sort of the three main reasons why people have them. So when you're thinking about creating a corporate entity, you kind of want to keep those things in mind, right? Awesome. So if you have assets in your business already,
right,
then, and you want to protect them, you want to keep that in mind. And then also, if you are, someone who prefers to feel more secure and safe, then creating a corporate entity just for the liability standpoint can be really comforting for people. Plus, I believe, I'm not your typical lawyer, I'm a holistic lawyer, and I believe that also when we create a corporate entity, we kind of up-level our business and up-level ourselves energetically, and we also create sort of a container to hold the business. And it just makes people take you a little bit more seriously sometimes and up-levels your credibility.
That is true. So, you said to protect your assets. So just to clarify, assets can be like actual money, right?
Yes.
But then would they also be like materials in your business or and other things that maybe you own outside of the business? So does it include all of those or just the things outside of your business?
I'm so glad you asked that. So assets are really property that you own. Well, you have business assets, which is property you own within the business, and then you have personal assets, which you own outside of your business. So for example, if you think about personal assets, that's easier, right? It's like a house and your cars and your bank accounts and your investments and whatever you might have personally. But for your business, you're going to have all of your jewelry. You're going to have all your materials to create your jewelry. You may have a location that you own where your studio is, or it could just be the dollars that you make, the income that you make from your business.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks for
Yeah.
clarifying that. So
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, can you give us 3 tips that designers can use to evaluate
Yes.
how to select which corporate entity is right for them?
Absolutely. Okay, so as we talked about, like the LLC is actually the simpler of the corporate entities. So an LLC is usually the place to start if you do want to form a formal corporate entity. And an LLC is really great if you have, if you don't have a lot of business assets yet or personal assets to protect just yet. So if you're kind of new to owning your own business or it's early on in creating your business, an LLC is really great because it also keeps things as simple as possible.
Cool.
Also, the other great thing to think about if you're forming an LLC is whether or not you can accurately predict your income yet.
Okay.
And a lot of people, when starting out, we can't predict our income. We don't know what it will be. Right, exactly. So you get the benefits of some of the tax advantages and actually having the corporate entity, but you don't have to know your income level yet. Exactly.
Okay. So you do need to know your income level if you're doing an S-Corp then?
You know, Tracy, it's helpful to know your income level because if your income is about $40,000 to $50,000 a year from your business, you can get tax advantages for having an S-Corp over an LLC. But I don't want that to stop anyone because if you have an LLC, you can actually do things to give you tax advantage as well. But that dollar mark is really helpful for people.
Okay.
Yeah, to use that. And also if you sort of have a grasp on your monthly income and also if you're more comfortable with complexity of a business model, really.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the easiest way to set like a corporate entity up for someone who's on a budget? Like who's just starting out?
Absolutely. So I work with my clients all the time to help them set up corporate entities. And a lot of them are starting out and they are on a budget. So the best way to do that is to work with someone who can help you do a payment plan or to actually plan your investment in your corporate entity over time. That's always the best way to do it. There are also services that can help you do it if you'd like to do it yourself. And certainly there could be some financial advantages to that. And then, of course, there are disadvantages in that you don't have someone guiding you through the process.
Right.
But really, I'm just such a big proponent of just planning it out and working with someone who will help you plan your finances.
I think it's always easier when someone else kind of, you have someone you could actually ask feedback. You know, we've set up things through like LegalZoom or something like that. And it's just, you kind of really don't know what you're doing. It's just like, okay, I hope that's right. And have someone like evaluate your numbers and everything kind of makes me feel a little bit more self-assured maybe that I'm doing the right thing.
That's exactly right. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because obviously you're such a successful business owner, Tracy, and you have had multiple business entities yourself. Right. So that's exactly why I help people is because you do want to have some comfort and security in knowing what the heck you're doing because you don't want to do it wrong. You just want to do it right from the start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, is there anything else that you'd like to add that we should be thinking about?
Sure. So I think the biggest tip that I like to give entrepreneurs, is that business entities aren't really one size fit all. Like a lot of people will say to me, okay, should I have an LLC or should I have an S-Corp? Just tell me. And it really comes down to a whole bunch of different factors, some of which we talked about, like how complex do you like to have a business entity and can you predict your income? And do you like the concept of paying yourself a salary? So there's multiple questions that are involved. So whatever your friend's doing or what someone else may be doing that's right for their business, that may or may not be right for your business.
Right.
And part of what you want to do, as I'm sure you've done, Tracy, when you work with people one-on-one to set up your business, is that they actually help look at your specific situation and personalize it so that it's exactly right for you.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, so that's another good reason to find someone who can work with you.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for being here today. I learned so much. I mean, we talked the other day, but I've learned so much more even on this call, which is always fantastic. I love it. Where can everyone find you?
Sure. They can find me at lisafraley.com, which is my name, and that's just LISAFRALEY.com. I'm a legal coach, which is Tracy introduced me as an attorney and holistic health coach. So I'm an entrepreneur as well.
Yay.
And that's everything is there on my website for people to check out, including a free gift if they want.
Awesome. Yeah, go grab her free gift. It's awesome. I wanted to also mention that we're really excited to have you talking more in depth about this subject during our Multiplier Profits course. And it'll be awesome because the designers get to ask you a little Q&A themselves.
Yes, and that's great, Tracy. I'm so glad you're making this available as a bonus for your program because people do have questions that apply to their own situation, and I'm glad I can kind of help them get their questions answered while they're going through your course.
Well, we're really excited for it, so we're glad to have you. So if you like this video, leave a comment below, and we want to hear how you're setting up your corporate structure as well. And if you'd like to view more content like this, make sure you check us out over at flourishthriveacademy.com. Lisa, thanks again for being here today, and everyone have a great day. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.